What's going on, guys? I'm Mike Romaine from SuperheroJack.com, the place where fitness meets everything nerd and pop culture. On today's How To Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about how to ignore the things that don't matter and how to really focus on what matters in your fitness and your nutrition and basically on your overall fitness journey. So there's been a lot of things that I've been noticing on Instagram and in the academy and just in the SHJ Army via emails and people asking me for help that have made me want to do this video and made me want to basically push people's focus in the right direction. There's so many things in the fitness industry that can make it seem like you should be doing this or that or this or that. And there's simple ways that you could just focus in on a couple things that I want to talk to you about today. And that's really the point of this video. Stop focusing on things that don't matter, worry about other things later, and really focus in on two key components. So before we get into that, as you guys know, everything that I would normally be talking about on How To Tuesday with updates for Superhero Jacked or updates for myself in general or book club or anything like that has been pushed over into What's Up Wednesday. That will happen at the beginning of every month. So stay tuned for that video, but we will still be cracking the monster, cueing the music, and getting it. So before I even get started into my own things that I want to talk about, there are a couple of Instagram posts that I wanted to read to you guys that specifically made me think of this topic. And they're not actually directly correlated. They're just some things that made me realize that I should be talking about things you need to focus on more clearly than other things that aren't nearly as important. So for example, Jordan Syed of Syed Fitness says, a woman emailed me frustrated and confused. She said, I'm 49 years old, overweight, out of shape, and have never exercised. How does somebody like me start? What do I even start with? I can't even do knee push-ups. I have no idea how to start. Jordan says, how about walking? She says, walking works. And then another one from Ramit Sethi. He's actually a business guru, but he says, a guy below says, must be nice to be child-free and work out 10 times a week. You have two interpretations of this. Number one is, boo-hoo, I can't do everything I want because I have no money or time or I have kids or etc., etc. Interpretation two is, we all have different advantages. I'll do the best I have with what I have. Maybe I'll work out 3 times a week, not 10. And he says, choose your worldview. So I really like that, especially because we literally just launched the 3 Hours to Superhero program, and it's been having amazing success. I had amazing success with it. Now, moving on to testing the next programs, but I'm actually missing the fact that I was only going to the gym 3 hours per week and still getting amazing results. So in these new programs, I'm like finding excuses to test out like beginner programs and other things that we're going to be working towards in the future with superhero programs. So I really, really like that one. And it just made me realize that people think you have to train 6 days a week. People think you have to do all these crazy things. People think there's just such a big hill to go up. And it is a slow battle. It does matter if you could find a routine that is sustainable for you. So there are things that really, really do matter, but you really have to drive your focus into specifics instead of worrying about whether or not your pre-workout has active caffeine or not, whether or not you are taking your creatine and your glutamine. Some of these things could matter over time. There are a lot of protein companies that literally just put huge words in front of the word whey isolate, and it makes people think this is going to be some magic formula for them, and it's not. I promise you, it really will not be. There's no way to overcome a bad diet. There's no way to overcome the fact that you are not training. There's no way to go around these things. You have to form your fitness around your specific goal, and the things that matter, the two big things that matter, the things that you really need to focus on before everything else, nothing else matters until you focus on your diet and your workout routine. Forget everything else. And how you're going to do this is you're going to zoom in on specifics. You're going to zoom in on whether or not your goal is to gain or lose weight. So if you want to gain weight, you need to be in a surplus. If you want to lose weight, you need to be in a deficit. Regardless of how that goes, you need those things. In the academy, in the superhero programs, we do have other options for making your diet a little bit more strict. A lot of people need a more strict diet in order for that diet to be sustainable for them. There are some tools that we utilize like intermittent fasting or keto or cyclical ketosis, or even people come in as vegans or like the paleo diet. There's things that we could utilize to make the caloric deficit or surplus easier for certain people. So putting that into your diet, that's another thing you could focus on. But regardless, it's going to be a surplus or a deficit. If you cannot be in a surplus or a deficit, let's say, for example, I'll use losing weight because we have more people coming in that are looking to lose weight than we have to gain. So for the purpose of this video, I'll just talk about that for a second. If you come in looking to lose weight and you're worried about the words before Whey Isolate on the specifics of which protein brand you're buying, but you can't even get yourself into a deficit, you need to reevaluate what you're worried about. You need to worry about your deficit first, make that sustainable, worry about getting to the gym 3 to 5 days a week, doing your cardio or whatever program you have picked or worked with me to pick, do your 3 times a week, your push-pull legs, do whatever your program is. Worry about forming that habit. Worry about hitting your macronutrients. If that's protein, and you do need protein shakes in order to hit that, in order to keep yourself in a deficit while hitting your macronutrients, then you could worry about asking in the academy or somebody else, what do you guys suggest as far as protein goes? I need this to hit this. But the first thing should be get yourself in your deficit, get yourself to the gym, getting more healthy, form those habits, and then down the road you could pick up on more and more things. You don't need to right away be worried about the exact amount of active caffeine in your pre-workout or anything like that. You need to worry about keeping yourself in your deficit or your surplus, get to the gym, work out, and focus on those things, and that's it. I don't even want to tell you all the other things that people focus on, because I don't even want to give you the ideas to start thinking about, like, oh, damn, should I not be having those 5 calories when I was intermittent fasting on my program? Like, damn, is that kicking me out? Is that ruining something? No, it's not. You don't need to overthink things. I do give the strict details in a lot of the programs, like just don't have any calories while you're fasting. We use fasting as a tool for satiation and other things, so don't have any calories. If you had 5 calories of almond milk in your coffee, it's not the end of the world. Don't overthink things. Don't think those little things are holding you back. It's the big things. It's the things that you don't see. It's your kryptonites. It's the fact that you might have had 200 extra calories of olive oil without even realizing it, or something that you mistracked. Mistracking is the biggest thing. A lot of people think they're in a deficit when really they're actually in a surplus because of mistracking, or vice versa. A lot of people think they're eating so much food when they're literally in a deficit and they're somehow losing weight. And weekly counts matter. Just because you're good 50% of the time, 60% of the time, even 70% of the time, if you have huge cheat meals on Saturday and Sunday, you could throw off your entire deficit, because with our programs, we're only keeping you 250 to 500 calories under. So if you're going way over 2,500 calories, which is not that hard for some people when they're so used to eating such a high caloric intake, you could throw off everything. So you really need to focus in on your specific macro counts, your specific calorie counts, forming the habit of getting to the gym and living a healthier life, and then worry about the rest of it after you form this habit, after you found what is sustainable for you. Find what is sustainable, find what works, find what you personally can do. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Stop going to Instagram and saying, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I had this, I wish I had this. Figure out what you could do, what is sustainable for you. Focus in on doing the things that really, really matter, and then over time, you can worry about the rest of it. I promise you, even if you didn't worry about anything else and you stayed in your deficit, you got to the gym 3 to 5 times a week, and you really got to it with hitting your macros and focusing in on your nutrition, you are going to lose weight, or you're going to gain weight if you focus on that. That's literally all you need to focus on. Forget about the rest of the stuff that's coming in and giving you these shiny prizes. Focus on your nutrition, get to the gym, be healthier, tone up, build muscles, and that's all you need to worry about. So I hope this helps some people figure out their own routine, whether that's getting started, or maybe you're thinking like, should I be worried about this? Should I be worried about that? The answer is no. Worry about what you really, really need to focus on. If you're not really, really close to your ideal physique as it is, you don't need to worry about these little things being added into what you're doing. Really, really find what's sustainable, get closer, and then down the road you could say, okay, now I'm plateauing, I have this, what can I really change within my diet or my fitness regime to put me over this plateau that I'm going on? So you can worry about that a little bit later on, and obviously you could always ask me if you're in the academy or even in the SHJ Army. Ask me for help. Have no problem helping. If you guys like this video, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, I'll talk to you later.